Welcome back, friends. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about data manipulation language. In the previous lectures, we discussed about data definition language. In that, we had saw how to create a database, how to use a database, how to show a database, and how to create a table, how to drop a table, how to truncate a table. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about how to insert the values in the table and how to update the values and how to delete the values and how to perform the select operation, retrieval operation in the database. Okay. So these are some of the typical data manipulation language operations. One is insert. So we are going to perform the insert operation now. We are going to concentrate on insert operation in this lecture. So update, delete, and select operations will be discussed in the future lectures. So in order to perform the insert operation, so we need to perform this syntax. So insert into statement is used to insert new records in a table. It is possible to write the insert into statements in two ways. One way specifies both the column names and the values to be inserted. For example, so you can see here, this is the first way. This is one way of performing the insert syntax in the database. So the syntax is insert into table name, insert into table name, then column 1, column 2, and it will be going on like this. Close the bracket, then mention values, then value 1, value 2, and it will be going on like this, and make it a semicolon. So this is one way of performing the insert operation in SQL. This syntax should be followed. So another way is alternate way to perform the insert operation is we cannot use the column names here. We can perform it directly like this. Insert into table name, values of value 1. For example, if you are given 3 columns means 3 values should be mentioned. If you are mentioned 4 columns means 4 values should be mentioned. It will be based on the data type what you have mentioned while creating the table. Okay. So make sure that the order of the values in the same order as the column in the table. For example, if column 1 is mentioned with student ID and column 2 is mentioned with name, but in value 1 if you are giving the name of the student and value 2 if you are giving the ID of the student, means the data type will mismatch and it will not insert the value in the table. It will produce an error. So we should be very careful in the order while inserting the values in the table. So for example, we will see the example student table. We already created the student table. So what are all the attributes present in the student table? One is student ID. Student ID is there. Then student name is there. Then department. So we have mentioned as student ID, name and department. So how to perform the syntax is insert into, I am using this syntax means it will be looking like this. Insert into table name is student. Then column 1 is student ID, comma, column 2 is name, then column 3 is department, close the bracket, then values. So I am giving student ID as 1 and name as, for example, Ranjit, and department as computer science engineering, that is CSE. And I'm closing the bracket with the semicolon. So if you want to use this syntax means you can perform it directly, insert into table name is student. Then you see here, we have to mention the values. We are not going to mention the columns here. So first value will be mentioning the integer data type because the student type has been mentioned. Just mention as 1, comma. Second value will be name. So I'm mentioning as Ranjit. And third thing is computer science and engineering. Then you have to close the bracket. So kindly understand that if you are performing the syntax in this manner means, so it will insert the value, but one error will be produced. What is that error is? For integer data type, there is no need of using some specialized symbols. But for the string, for the var character data type, you have to use the apostrophe for the strings. So then only the value will be inserted as per the SQL syntax parameters. Okay, could you able to understand? So the values, if you are using the values as string means, you have to use the semicolon. Sorry, you have to use the apostrophe for the strings. For integer, apostrophe is not required. So after completion, you can mention with semicolon. So now you see here, the table will be displayed like this. So what are all the examples we are discussing now? Everything will be done in the hands-on session by using the MySQL workbench. So the first thing is student ID. Second thing is name. Third thing is department. Student ID. So name, department. This is the table we have created. Then ID will be 1. Name will be Ranjit. And department will be CSE. So this is the resultant table. This is the resultant table. Okay. So in order to display this table, in order to display the values, what are all the values present in the table, we will be going for the syntax called select star from table name and semicolon. Okay. So here we are using the table student. So select star from table name is student. So it will display the table. Okay. Could you able to understand it? So this is how you can create a table and you can insert the value in the table which is already created. So I will be summarizing the inserting the table again. So in order to perform inserting the value in a table, so you have to use the syntax. The syntax can be mentioned in two ways. One is insert into table name, column 1, column 2, then values, value 1, value 2, like that it will be going on. Alternate ways, it is not necessary to mention the column names. You can directly mention with the values. So while performing the insert operation, you have to be very careful. You have to include apostrophe for the string data type, and for integer data type, it is not required. Okay. I hope you have understood the concept of creating the table and how to insert a table. How to insert a value in the table and how to display the values of the table by using the select statement. Okay. In the next lecture, we will discuss about some other DML operations. So we will discuss it later. Thank you.